Hi, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel, Sagittarius. This is your May 2021 soul story. If you have sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then my readings are general, but maybe some of these messages are going to be supportive and helping you get through the next few weeks. So it is a big month because we are going to be welcoming the full moon lunar eclipse in your sign on the 26th. And I think that's really going to dominate the headlines for you because it's a time when karma really gets to do a major clear up operation in your pathway. So we're opening up your reading with the Nine of Wands, and it's certainly true to say that you might have a few battle scars from the journey that you've been on. Think back to both June 5th and December 14th because that was the two eclipses in your sign in 2020, and this is really the culmination of this storyline, closing out the chapter. And I know you might feel a little bit weary, you might feel a little bit exhausted, and that there's that energy of, is this actually going to get me to where I've been investing my energy? Am I actually going to reach the point that I've been striving for? And there's such a beautiful sense of wanting to give you perseverance here. You know, it is not been in vain. That's what I want to say. The major shifts that you have been through and that you are still experiencing, Sagittarius, have been here to help you stop abandoning yourself and really come home to who you are, to the path that you're on. And as we're into Taurus energy and it lights up that sixth house of you of service, taking care of yourself and your own needs so that you can then move out into the world and be of service in a way that fulfills and nourishes you. And so there's a really strong emphasis in this first part of May about making sure that the sacred practices that you're putting in place are allowing you to have powerful access into your own sacred self. Now, Taurus earth energy can be a little bit uncomfortable in some ways, but what it does certainly do for you is it delivers a sense of focus and productivity. This is a growing season, and it is a time when you can really regain control of so many different elements of your life and your path. Now, we have Mercury moving into the sign of Gemini and Venus moving into Gemini on the 3rd and the 8th of the month. And so this building up into the 7th house for you is going to be really significant. So even though we're 6th house in Taurus season, you're still getting an illumination of a lot of emphasis and focus on how relationships are helping you, supporting you, hindering you, holding you back. And I have a sense that especially as we are in the first part of the month, you're going to have a bit of an emphasis on your well-being, your physicality, figuring out what's not metabolizing for you. What are you not processing? Because everything that is coming up here is about what we need to release as we make our way to that full moon lunar eclipse. Now, you've got the energy of the Emperor here holding puppet strings. So are you feeling a little bit like you're having to dance to somebody else's tune right now? Or do you feel like you need to put more structures, more foundations in place so that you can start to control the energy of things that are happening in and around you? Regardless, I feel that you are in a kind of slightly rebellious mood, if I may say that. And as we approach that eclipse, which we know brings about breaking down, breaking up, breaking open, and that's really important because through that, like we said, you're going to find the reasons why you are fighting for what you are, why you are focused upon, where you need to be. And it's just like it's bringing a new sense of meaning. The right people for us, when they show up in the right way, feel completely different to our nervous system. And I think that's probably something you are going to feel acutely with that emphasis on your 6th house of health and well-being and Taurus energy, Sagittarius. So be mindful of that, because what we want to be doing is figuring out who's going to be helping us on the way, who's helping us on the journey. What you're going to be doing is putting things in place at the beginning of the month so that you are ready to be able to then take that energy and move it out into the world. But you have to take care of yourself first and foremost. Your 5 of Pentacles here, you can see her dress is almost made of this cage, and inside is this kind of fallen rose here. But what's required from the energy of this, whatever hardship, whatever ordeal, whatever you've been through, is some time some processing, some reflection, which you're certainly going to have a chance to do because we're going to be moving into retrograde season, yeah? So the 23rd brings Saturn retrograde, and then the 29th Mercury retrograde, so it's going to have an extended period in Gemini from the 3rd of May right through to the 22nd of June, all an emphasis of your relationship house. So all of the information which will flood towards you is going to be rich in insights to help you progress, to help you make sense. And remember, during retrograde, we want to go inwards. We want to take time to review, reevaluate, go back over things. So yes, there may be some instances where you are trying to figure out some stuff, how to extricate yourself from difficult situations, how to deal with certain challenges that have been placed upon you, where there has been hardship. Maybe there's even been some challenges in and around finances for you, or even if you've just been feeling really kind of pushed out in certain aspects. You know, this is a time when we're really, like we said, allowing the karma to come in and clear a lot of this energy. But what your invitation is through this time, Sagittarius, is to figure out what it means for you, how it's changed you, how it's helped you to see things differently, because it's all about the growth. It's all about the growth. And so when we can understand that, then we are much clearer about making sure that we don't keep repeating the patterns. You know, this is an eclipse that's going to let you release the stuckness, the sense of limitation, the need for approval, holding of the guilt, overextending yourself. So Ace of Pentacles is showing you here's where the new growth comes from. This is a season of growth. You know, Taurus wants us to dig the roots deep so that they can be lasting and permanent for us. Sometimes redirections come in and things get pulled up and changed or taken away from us, not because we've done anything wrong, but because there's something better, more nurturing, more honest, more real, more aligned with who we're becoming and what's going to be good for us and the highest expression of where we're heading. And, you know, working with the South Node is not easy because it is really all about release and learning some difficult challenges about our time here. But this Ace of Pentacles is giving you that sense of inspiration. It's bringing offers and it's bringing a sense of vitality and invigoration into what might feel in moments through the month a little bit of flatlined energy. So just when you need the boost, the universe is going to deliver it for you. We have a gorgeous new moon in the sign of Taurus on the 11th of the month. It's aligning sweetly with Pluto and Neptune. So powerful transformative energies that also creatively are unlocking amazing things in your imagination. Amazing conversations, remember, because Mercury is the natural ruler of Gemini. It loves to be in this sign. So everything flows extra easy. Conversations, sociability, our ability to be able to connect with people is coming to a much lighter opportunity in that first part. So your Ace of Pentacles I really like for you. Just after that new moon, we've also got Jupiter moving into the sign of Pisces. So expect some nice gifts coming in during that time. It should be delivering opportunities. It should be expanding some of the good things and amping them up to the degree that you actually feel, well, this was worthwhile. Okay? Your Two of Cups coming in right at the center of your reading. Almost looks like the twins of Gemini here, doesn't it? And I think you are really considering, especially as we come into Gemini season, who can help you, who you want to take with you. Relationships, not just on a romantic level, but people that you want to have part of your team, people that you want to create new friendships with, people that can open doors for you. You're putting so much in place to help the advancement of what comes next for you. And I think it's been a really powerful experience working with this eclipse through your sign last year and this year, Sagittarius, that there's a new sense of devotion that's come and emerged forth for you. Where that the devotion is being directed, well, that's a personal journey for you right now. Maybe it is into a personal relationship, new love. Maybe it's towards yourself or a business or, you know, an aspect within family or friendships. But whatever area of your life, what you will take away from this time is about how you find that sense of unity, togetherness, what matters to you, what you want to align with. And I think it's really beautiful that that's coming through right next to this Ace of Pentacles, because it is like this brand new beginning of togetherness. And so, you know, even if you have felt things have sort of pushed and pulled you in multiple directions, and you've really wondered and questioned your sanity at times, probably felt like you've been tested way more than was necessary, there should be some of the deliverance of that coming through for you. Two of Pentacles beneath the Five of Pentacles definitely suggests to me that some of you have been really struggling with managing resources or having like a consistent flow that's been able to kind of allow you to do the things that you need to do, that you want to do, and be able to prioritize things. You've probably had to stretch yourself and been exceptionally tenacious and adaptable, and there's a bit more of a continuation of this adaptability, flexibility, because we know that these times during the eclipses can bring in such seismic shifts and often things that we're not expecting and anticipating. And even the energies at the end of April with all of the Uranus conjunctions and that powerful Scorpio full moon, we're still going to be dealing with a fallout of that in the first part of May. And so there is a requirement for you to kind of rise above. You know, you're still doing this balancing act, this juggling act of things, but it's not for much longer, okay? There is some sense of ground being formed beneath your feet. Your Emperor is helping you to get control and command of a situation in the right way. I also feel that there's an element of choices and decisions that are coming in, and they're quite significant. You may be in a position where you're having to make them already through May, or you're certainly having conversations and getting sight of them, is what I want to say, Sagittarius. Now this deck is interesting because she's actually created two sets of emperors and two sets of kings, both a masculine and a feminine. And how interesting, you also have the masculine version, we have the feminine version that we've pulled already. So this double emphasis of the themes that come through with this divine masculine, authoritarian, you know, powerful. It's asking you, inviting you to think about the structure in your life, the foundations, how you're dealing with power and control. And, you know, perhaps there are some really significant figures in your life, perhaps bosses, fathers, husbands, or those strong male archetypal energies that are really provoking and challenging you, or inviting you to dig deeper in understanding, or in pushing you forward by way of growth, okay? But again, as it sits beneath the Ace of Pentacles, isn't it like a complete kind of contrast here? The 2 and the 5 showing the hardship and the challenge, and yet at the same time this burst of new opportunity that gives this sense of emotional stability and security in one's life. And I think that this is perhaps like a tale of two halves, and it's showing you what's possible, but you also have to find that balance within yourself and figure out where you're directing and devoting your energy, because maybe that's at the root of where the shift and the change can take place for you. And if it isn't coming in on a level of abundance, it might just be in the areas of love or some other aspect that you're having or have had that wild emotional roller coaster. Ace of Swords coming in because we are unlocking something, and it's going to give us crystal clear clarity. I love this because even though we have retrograde energies coming in, which tend to kind of bring a little bit of haze and cloud and confusion, I don't think you're confused. I think you know exactly where you need to be, where you want to go, what's going to be important to you. And I think that you are holding your own key here. The only challenge you're going to have is when you try to look outside of yourself. That's when it's going to feel murky. That's when you're going to feel like you're uncertain, or you're going to start to doubt or question or double back. When you're sitting in your own energy and you're really listening to what's emerging from your own higher self, you have two aces coming in here. There's this beautiful potential that's bubbling up, it's surfacing up. And remember, the mirror season that comes through when we're dealing with our opposing sign, you know, can feel quite provocative, because it often forces us to look at the aspects that we avoid or the shadow parts of ourselves. But here's where you really need to listen, because there's something here that can absolutely bring about this step change. And maybe it is in this sort of need for control, or to let go of control, to surrender into something, you know, or to feel more empowered with who you are and what you're achieving and where you're looking to effect change in your life. Your Knight of Wands, of course, relates to your sign, so I love that this comes through for you. As we move to close this main part of the reading, you are literally jumping through hoops, you're jumping through fire, but you're on the move. This is wonderful. You're on the move. You've got forward progress. There's a sense of rising anticipation, of excitement, of passion being ignited, and actually of being able to just get shit done. I've got a tremendous amount of like motivation that's coming through for you here, which I really like. So regardless of how this eclipse lands for you, it's really going to help you to see where you've been abandoning yourself. And I see you just taking control back in that way and charging forward and just making it happen and not really letting fear stop you. I think that's really important. You know, perhaps where there have been things that have been exceptionally problematic or difficult to deal with and have activated a lot of anxiety or stress or fears. You know, it's not a time when that's going to be stopping you. I think you're getting very focused about what needs to happen next. So let's take a look and just see how these flower medicine cards want to join the conversation. So we have Azalea, passion. So really similar to just the theme we've just talked about here with the Knight of Wands coming in. What are you passionate about? Who are you passionate about with this Two of Cups? That's what you need to hold on to through this month of May. Make sure you take care of yourself first and foremost. The passion should really be, how can I more lovingly, how can I more determinedly, you know, make sure that I'm satisfying and nourishing everything that my body needs, my soul needs, my mind needs, because from that solid foundation, that's where I gain control and I can start to move that energy out into everything else that I'm doing. You know, it's really important, I think, that you don't lose yourself or sit for too long in anyone else's energy through the course of this month, because it's going to kind of hoodwink you into feeling like you're further back than you actually are, or that you are experiencing a certain series of emotions that are not really yours to own. So it's going to be really important to just make sure that you constantly check in with yourself, Sagittarius, and think about what's yours and calling your own energy back, because you have some beautiful, fresh inspiration that wants to be delivered. And, you know, opportunity is knocking. Doors are being open in front of you, so pay attention. So these are the Priestess of Light cards, and you have the Divine Mother, nurturing, compassion, grace. What I love about this is it's like the perfect union, as we have this sort of double energy of the Emperor, and actually with the Two of Cups here, it's kind of bringing the two together. It's beautiful. But again, like we said, this is about the nurturing and the compassion and the sense of grace and mercy you need to have towards yourself. You know, let that golden illumination of the sun or the moon here, you know, wherever you feel aligned to it, just, you know, it is about giving yourself time to actually bounce back, to allow resiliency to form, courage to be tapped into, words to be expressed. You know, it's really going to be a month where I feel you get to speak and you get to say the things that have perhaps been on your mind and in your heart for some time, but you're doing it in a really compassionate, tolerant way, understanding that other people might not be where you are, but regardless, you have to move forward, you have to make changes, you have to honour what that eclipse energy is bringing for you. So our astrological card brings through the energy of earth, persistence, patience and practicality. Of course, Taurus is the earth energy, but also this Nine of Wands is being echoed again here. It's not a time to give up, Sag. It really isn't. It's a time to put to use everything that you know, draw on every single emotional tool, the healing modalities, the way that you know you can inspire and motivate, re-energize yourself, bounce back, start over, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. This month has your back if you allow the energies to work with you. So this is a general reading, Sagittarius. If you would like to join me for the extended, I'm going to go ahead and pull us some clarification cards. We talk for about another 20 minutes or so, and we'll just go into a little bit more detail about what comes through. I'm just going to invite you to think about a question that might not have come up in the main part of your reading, and we'll also cover that in the extended. Now, you can find the links for the extended in the description and the comment section underneath, and it's just a way to support my channel. I really appreciate those of you that join me for that. Okay, we're going to just clarify this Nine of Wands. bringing in the Page of Wands, nice fire energy, opening up the communication, like we said, so important through the course of May, and really bringing in about much more social outlook for you. Ace of Swords, again, coming through. Some truth needs to be spoken, and in relation to the Devil, so that's going to be an interesting one for us to go into a little bit more detail. We've got the Two of Pentacles showing up again here. Choices and decisions coming in. Four of Pentacles. Where does one invest one's energy, time, love, resources? Okay, Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. I know there's something that's been a little bit of a setback for you, but don't sit in that energy for too long. It's passing through. Okay, King of Cups coming in with that Ace of Pentacles. Supportive people that are delivering exceptional emotional understanding and sensitivity to a very stressful situation, and actually perhaps offering you the key and a way out of something that feels kind of stressful. We'll look into that in a bit more detail. So we've got Death with the Two of Cups and the Two of Swords coming in. A lot of twos showing up in your reading this month. That's the Queen of Wands, nice fire energy. Okay, we have the Chariot, Five of Pentacles again. Okay. Beautiful healing energy coming in there with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. There's so many mini conversations that are spinning off in this clarification reading. It's going to be interesting. Okay, Four of Wands, Seven of Wands, and Judgment. All right, Sagittarius, gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me for your May soul story, and I'm gonna wish you beautiful blessings for this next few weeks, and I'll see you again next month. Enjoy that full moon lunar eclipse in your sign on the 26th, and I'll talk to you again later. Bye bye.